Hello guys, welcome back to another very interesting tech video related to the data science. In this video, we are going to talk about one of the tech which every company is trying to get into, that is cloud computing guys. So if you remember, the last video which I uploaded in my data science series, that was related to the big data. And the idea of that video was to show you the rate at which we are generating the data, right? So in that video, we talked about what happens over internet in just 1 minute. And that content will give you a feel, the rate, the volume at which we are generating the data, guys. That is very huge and it is rapidly growing. Now, if the data is growing, then companies or different organizations, they need solutions to store that amount of data as well as to process it. They need tech for that. And that's where the cloud computing comes into the picture. Now, a lot of companies are actually opting for cloud computing rather than having their own infra or buying their own hardwares. Now, why they are doing it, what benefits they get if they opt for cloud computing services, all of these things we are going to discuss in this particular video, guys. So watch till the end. And for all the new subscriber or like for all the guys who are new to this channel, please subscribe the channel. If you like the content, like the video and share with your friends, guys. Now, without wasting more time, let's move to the screen, guys, and let's discuss what is cloud computing. So let's understand what is cloud computing, guys. It's a combination of two words, cloud and computing. Computing, when I talk, it's basically about processing, right? Now, the important term in this, in cloud computing is the cloud. So here, cloud refers to the internet, guys. So when you combine these two words, the definition which comes out is something is getting processed over the internet, right? So this is the most important part or the crux of cloud computing. You will get the service over the internet, right? There will be a service provider. You might have heard about AWS or GCP, Google Cloud or Microsoft Azure, right? These are the service providers. And here we have the customers. Customers can be individual when you are using services like Gmail, Google Photos or Netflix, Prime, any social media account. These are for individual customers. And other type of customers can be businesses like G5 or let's say any other companies like Infosys, TCS, Accenture. They are using different infras from these service providers, right? On the one side we have service providers like AWS, Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud. And on the other side we have users. Users can be a company or it can be an individual, right? So I hope this part is clear. So now they will provide, service providers will provide the services or the applications which can be interacted by the user over the internet. I hope this definition is clear. Now, if I talk about the applications, we all are surrounded by Google, this cloud computing applications. Like every day we use WhatsApp, we use Gmail, we use Google Photos, we use Google Sheets, we have OTT platforms like Netflix, Prime, Hotstar, G5, all of these platforms. Or we can talk about the social media accounts like Facebook, Instagram. These are all examples of cloud computing. Now, how? Because we have one side the service or the applications which is being managed by the service provider. Let's say if we talk about Gmail, it is being managed by Google, right? And on the other hand, we have individuals, and this service application and the user both are like users are interacting with the service or the application over the internet, right? So that's why it's a classic example. Gmail is a classic example of cloud computing. Similarly, all other applications you can see over screen are examples of cloud computing. I hope this part is clear to everyone. Now let's try to understand. So the formal definition of cloud computing. So if you look at this, so cloud computing, it is on demand availability of computer system resources. Now we are looking from the company perspective. Now let's understand this definition from the from a simple example. Let's say you are a founder of a company and you are in a very early stage where you are planning to start a new business, and you are getting started customers data, right? Now you have to store that data somewhere, then you can do some analytics on top of it, you can retrieve that data, you can process it later so that you can make business decisions. So for that purpose you need some computer systems where you can store it. Now for that purpose you have two options, right? So let me just divide it. One option is you can set up your own infrastructure where you are buying your own hardwares, right? And you are setting up a team for that, right? So basically own hardwares, that is one option. Another option is you can avail cloud computing services from AWS or GCP or from Azure or from Alibaba, from IBM, any of them. But you have one option of availing cloud computing services, right? Now we will try to understand this. What are the benefits if we are availing cloud computing services, right? And why companies are moving from having their own hardware or systems and opting for the cloud services. Now, if you look at the first one is you have to spend lot of money in buying these hardwares, right? So you have to, the cost will be very high cost. I can write here the cost will be very low because the system, these cloud computing systems, the cost will be based on your uses. If you are using heavily, then you have to pay more. If you are using less, then you have to pay less, right? So that is why low cost based on your uses, because in the beginning of your startup you will have less data, so you'll have to pay less, but here you have to pay high, right? And the problem will be less scalable because you cannot scalable every day, because let's say your data is growing rapidly, then you have to grow your hardware number rapidly, right? So less scalable, high cost, low cost, highly scalable, because without disturbing your existing infra, you can add more and more services or hardwares in your system based on your demand in the cloud computing service, right? So high pay, less scalable, low cost, highly scalable. The second very important thing is you will have to set up your own hardware space, right? You will need space. You have to buy land to actually keep your hardware. So storage area, right? You will need storage area. Here you will not need no storage space required, right? I hope you understand. So for hardware you will need space, but for cloud computing services, because your already space is taken by, because your services are managed by some other company, so they will have to worry about your storage space. You do not have to worry. Now the third one, very important again, you will have to set up a team which will manage all your hardwares, right? If something happens to your hardware, let's say there are some damages happened in the hardwares, then you will have to worry about that, right? Your data recovery will be a problem. So team plus data recovery, all of these things you have to set up, you have to worry about. But here you will not have to set up a team, expertized team to manage your hardwares, because those hardwares will be managed by Google's team or Azure's team or like AWS team, right? No team plus data recovery, it is being automatically managed by Google or your service providers. No worries on data recovery part, right? So these are interesting points, guys, and you will be able to relate it. Now the fourth part is data security, guys. This is another very important issue because a lot of companies are getting penalized for data security. You will know about Facebook, you will know about Instagram. they have actually suffered from these kind of data security issues. So now here, when you are managing your own hardwares, you have to be very much careful about this data security issue, right? But here, you do not have to worry about data security issue. You again, this Google, your service providers are responsible for the data security, and they are pretty good in managing this. They have separate team to manage or secure the data, right? No worries. Again, I will write. So these are few of the factors which I have mentioned here.